Hello, boys and girls. Here is Chapter 18, Part 1 of Charlotte's Web. Now, remember that always in my Part 1s, I go over the questions and some new vocabulary, and then in Part 2, I'll read the chapter. So for right now, you'll need a pen or pencil to write with, your Charlotte's Web packet, and your Charlotte's Web book, please. Grab these materials and pause the video if you need to. Okay, let's take a look at the questions for Chapter 18. I can't believe we're already getting to the end of the book. Okay, let's see. Oh, by the way, these are my Chapter 17 pictures. So I do the Ferris wheel and the balloon, the loudspeaker with the music. I only did the hamburger. And then I drew some cherry or some raspberry soda, a candied apple, and some caramel popcorn. All right. For Chapter 18, what are the two meanings of the word humble? And we'll discover those meanings in Chapter 18. Right here, number 2, use details from the text to explain why Templeton was having the time of his life at the fair. What are some of the things that he did? So in each of these little explosion bubbles, we're going to write some of the reasons why he was having such a great time, or the time of his life at the fair. And then the back is just an optional coloring page. Of course, Fern with Wilbur and the word humble written in the web. All right, let's take a look at some of the new vocabulary. We only have one new vocabulary word, and then I'm going to share some words to know. So the newest vocabulary word we have is a schemer. And a schemer is a person who secretly plans. Usually a scheme is something that's not good. But in this case, you'll see how the word schemer is being used. So someone who secretly plans. Okay. And here are some fun words to know. So the first one they're going to talk about is the word merry-go-round. And I think you've seen that before at a fair, right? A merry-go-round. It could also be called a carousel. They also talk about something called the Bino Booth. Now, Bino is this kind of game. It looks really old, right? But Bino is kind of like a form of bingo. Okay, so they used to play Bino at the fairs back in the day, and it looks something like that. They'll talk about something called a deviled ham sandwich, and that's what this looks like. And it usually has like onions and pickles and stuff like that. Maybe not your favorite, but I love onions and I love pickles. And I love sandwiches. So it sounds like my kind of sandwich. And deviled ham, or anything that's deviled, is just usually something that has spices added to it. So they've added some spices and they've chopped up the ham and they called it deviled ham. And then finally, they'll talk about the pig pen at the fair. And so this is what the pig pens at fairs look like. So you can see they're kind of like small little stables with gates that have some hay and straw in them, and then each pig is loaded into their own pen. So it's going to look something like that. Okay, and some of you might have seen something like that when you've gone to the fair. So that's it for our new vocabulary. Join us in the next video for part 2, where I will read Charlotte's Web chapter 18.